Flexibility is just make sure that the body can move efficiently through all phases at all times. So remember from our OPT model, the first thing that underpins everything is movement, making sure that the body can move and function in the way that it should to be able to stabilise the joints. Now what happens with lifestyle is that people will start to get compensations in their muscles, start to get some that become shorter and then start to become longer. So if you guys look in the position that you guys are in right now, which muscles do you think are getting pulled long and which muscles do you think are getting pulled short? Glutes long.
Hips short.
Hips short. Yeah, so that's how the body usually works. And when you're creating an action in a joint, you've got two types of muscles. One that's creating the movement, if you remember from the online content, what's that called? Prime mover, it's called something else as well. Agonist, yeah. And then that one when you're extending is called your antagonist. Cool. So the agonist is responsible for creating the movement, for pulling on the joint. The antagonist is responsible for controlling that to make sure that it doesn't go too far. So what happens when somebody's in a position over a period of time is that the body will start to lose its alignment, start to get one that's shorter and tighter and one that's longer and weaker. So what we're going to look at with your flexibility is being able to identify which muscles are short and tight and which ones are long and weak. Now if one's short and tight doesn't necessarily mean that it's strong. It just means that it's unable to contract, like we talked about those actin and myosin fibers, they're just unable to go in and out, so it makes it very hard for the person to do the movement. So there's a few strategies that we use with flexibility. The first one is to inhibit. So if you've got a muscle that looks like this, and that example that we just used was sitting down, we look at the front and back side of the body, so you've got your hip flexors, and then we've got your glutes. So the first thing you want to try and do with flexibility is you want to make sure that you can switch off these muscles that are firing too much. So this one here, we want to do a couple of strategies to switch them off. The first one is to inhibit. So when we go out on the floor, I'm going to show you a few ways to do it with a couple of different muscle groups with the foam rollers. We want to send that signal to the body that it's switching on too much and that we want to switch it off. And then the second one, once we get it there, is then we want to make a change, because just switching it off won't change where this position is. So we want to try and get it back to a resting length of back. And the next thing that we're going to go through is we're going to go through lengthening. Once then we get those things sorted and we start to get this switched off and start to pull it long, then we're going to work on activation. Because if somebody's got a job that's sitting down a lot, remember we talked about sitting is the new smoking. So sitting down a lot, these are usually pulled long because you don't have to work them when you're sitting on them. These are pulled tight because they hold you in that position. If you want to hop on that, have you done it before?
Not with those.
Okay. Let's see if we can do one at a time. I'm just going to lie with one leg on the roller, the other leg out to the side for me. Perfect. And then I'm going to bring this leg up here. So bend it for me. And now bring it up here so your knee stays close to the ground. Just relax your leg. And bring it up now. So what that is that provides a base of support for them, so like a tripod. So you want to make sure that they're nice and long through here, nice and relaxed. Does that feel comfortable? Cool. Now I want you to just roll forward and back for me 5 times. Nice and slow. One more. And then find a tight spot and then just hold on it. Now when she's there, you're going to start to see a little bit of change in shape of the hips and a little bit of change in shape of the core, so that's your bit to be able to coach. So what I want you to do is pull your belly button to your spine And I want you to tilt your hips that way. There you go. Does that feel okay? Do you feel the increase in tension?
Am I okay over here?
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. So you want to get them to hold it for 30 seconds. And I'll tell you why in a sec.
60 seconds.
Okay, and now roll, do the bottom half for me. Go 5 again. We're going to find a tight spot again, Adrian. Nice. So now pull that belly button up to the spine. A little bit more. There you go, perfect. You feel that tension change? The scale of 1 to 10, how does that feel? About a 6. So we're looking for about a 6 or a 7. To increase the tension on something like this, you can get them to lift their other leg off. So if you put your other leg back straight with the other one. Yeah. So up to what now? 8. Yeah. So now she's got her, you can keep this foot down. So now she's got that foot down, or the other one, sorry. Keep your right one up. But you can put the left foot down, because that'll take some tension off that. So the most important thing, guys, like anything, is that movement underpins everything. So you want to make sure the kinetic chain sort of first. So if they're unable to hold their core up, if they're starting to lose shape in their hips, give them another point of contact. That's all we've done with that foot. This stretch, you're going to try and stretch around the hip flexor, so we're stretching around that joint. You want to think of it like a bow and arrow. So this is where we want to try and see the bend in the bow. So we're trying to push her hip through. You can even put your arms up for me. Like that. Perfect. Slightly with the shoulders. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, that's the next one we're going to do. So now it's about controlling that hips and pulling them into a stretch. So if you think of them like a bowl, you're trying to tuck that, tuck that bowl underneath. And where do you feel it now? Up into it again. Cool. So now we're getting right into that hip flexor joint, the one which goes into a squat that's causing her to break forward. And now you can activate that glute when it's in the right position. So I want you for 10 seconds to squeeze this glute for me. There you go. Yeah, so now you can feel it pulling into the position. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Good go. Good go. Gonna go push back to the hips. And try one more. Relax. Tuck those hips underneath. Nice. Good, and relax. Cool. And then try a few more spots for us.
Because only one side.
So I want you guys to move around and have a look at the difference in the hip joint. Your eyes keep going. Doing well. And relax. What do you guys see? What else do you guys see? Slightly less forward bend. We're starting to come up, right? Then we've got to work on the other points of the kinetic chain. What do you see, Jamie?
She's getting down a lot lower with a lot more ease, whereas before she'd sort of get down to a point and then really tighten up.
Yeah.
And she's not doing that, it's more flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you want to try, even though we're just on one side, can you go slow into it for me? You come around this side, guys, and then we'll change sides. So we'll do 2 on this side. And I want you to see what happens when you're standing like in that. And then feel like yeah. See what happens here? With that hip being able to pull back into the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you You see what's happening, and you can see around the tights. That's perfect. So she's able to pull that back into the hip joint. Now come around this side. You see the difference in how much they bunch, the tights? So there's something, it almost looks like there's something caught in there, right? What that is, that's altered reciprocal inhibition. That's where going, when I go into a squat, I need to really activate through here as hard as I can, so I'm going to punch up that hip and I'm not going to let it put it back into the socket. And then we're doing a little bit, so that took us 5 minutes, a little bit of release, a little bit of stretching, a little bit of activation, and then she's able to completely change the way that she moves. Those that have just done it felt the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how's
Just
it?
in those 2 squats, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And when somebody does that, what's it important to do? Yeah, praise them, make them feel good, make sure that you smile, make sure that you celebrate, because they'll give you that reaction, that, whoa, that feels awesome. So you want to match and mirror that emotion. Okay, that's the importance of doing this every day until we get these muscles into the position we want to be into. But they'll do it based on how excited you get, not based on that value, because they'll forget about that, but they'll remember the emotion, because emotions are infectious. Cool. So a couple of key principles there, guys. So we're getting them to just do a little bit of movement and find a tight spot. Now, what are those tight spots? Yeah, they're like little knots. They're called muscular adhesions. So this is the way, like we talked about that actin and myosin, that's how the muscle fibre should look. Now what happens when it gets told and sent a signal to go tighter and tighter and tighter, is it goes like that. It starts to bunch up because it goes, you want me to go tighter, but I'm already here, so I'm going to become stronger for you, and I'm going to tie a knot. I'm going to do that. Now, have you guys ever, does anyone have a hair tie?
Yeah.
Yes. Can I borrow that? So what you've got, we're going to use this hair tie as a muscle. Usually I have one. So this is our muscle, right? So that's actin and myosin, and that's it stretching. And this is what happens when you get muscular adhesions. I'm not going to wreck it.
Got another one.
Okay. Cool. That's what happens. So you can still stretch a tight muscle. You can still go like that, but see how it doesn't go as far? And where is it pulling? Where's the stretch?
Oh, now.
The ends, yeah. And what is that in relative to the body? Joints, yeah. That's why people get Achilles pain and sore leaf muscles and tear it when they run on the treadmill. Because they've got these little adhesions in there, which they're then stretching and trying to work them, but then it's actually pulling on the joint rather than pulling on the muscle. That's why it's so important to get that adhesion sorted first, find the tight spot, make sure that we roll it, and then we can stretch it.